Hey, New York City, I won't be at Wildin' Out on the 28th. These motherfuckers trying to put Charleston White on the show. They playing all kind of games. Motherfuckers trying to send me to jail, man. So I won't be in New York, so that's what it is. Wildin' Out, send me y'all paying information so I can send y'all money back. Boosie.
Boosie just sent the money back. And when a man tells you he's sending the money back, that means he is done playing games. Wilder now tried to book Boosie and Charleston White on the same stage, on the same show, and Boosie found out and he shut the whole thing down immediately. No drama, no back and forth, just keep your check, I'm out. And honestly, once you hear the full picture of everything that's been happening with Boosie over the last week or two, this move makes complete sense. Stick with me, because this story has multiple layers. Okay, if you enjoyed this, make sure to follow, like, share with your friends and family, and drop your thoughts in the comments. All right, so let's break this down from the top. Boosie gets booked to appear on Wild 'N Out in New York on the 28th. Cool, normal booking. Boosie's a legend. That's a big get for the show. But then, somebody in the booking department either made a huge mistake or they thought they was being slick because they also booked Charleston White for the same show. Now, the moment Boosie finds out, he goes online immediately and says, they trying to put Charleston White on the show. They playing all kinds of games. I won't be in New York, and I'm sending y'all's money back. That line right there, sending y'all's money back, that is the most serious thing a man can say in this industry. Because when you send the money back, you got no obligation, no contract, no leverage over you. You free. And Boosie chose his peace over a paycheck, period. Now the big question is, did Wild 'N Out's booking team really not know about the bad blood between these two? Because if you follow either one of these men online, you know this is not a pairing you ever put together. For those who need the background, Boosie has been extremely vocal. He has made it crystal clear that he wants absolutely nothing to do with Charleston White. And he has real reasons. Charleston White has gone on record talking about wanting Boosie to go to jail. He made statements about Boosie's mama. He made statements about Boosie's new girlfriend and their newborn baby, said she'd have to breastfeed in the visitation room. That's not commentary. That's not criticism. That is targeting a man's family. And beyond that, Charleston White was physically out there. He pulled up to one of Boosie's club performances and was in the crowd trolling. Think about that. Not tweeting from the couch, actually showing up to the man's event to cause a scene and get content. So when Boosie says, I'm not pulling up to no show with him, this isn't petty beef. This is a man who has been consistently disrespected, had his family talked about, and had somebody physically invade his space. And he said, enough is enough. And I respect that. You cannot force two people to share a stage, especially when one of them has done that much. Now, let's zoom out, because this Wild 'N Out situation didn't happen in a vacuum. Boosie has had one of the most eventful, most talked about weeks in recent memory. First, word comes that he's got a warrant in his hometown for an alleged aggravated assault at a club over Memorial Day weekend. They say he hit a bouncer with a hookah bottle. Boosie says he's innocent and that it'll get worked out in court. But here's the issue. Boosie is currently on federal probation from a recent case, so a new charge is not just a charge, it's potentially a violation. He said he talked to his probation officer and everything's straight, but the internet ran with it. Then, just a few days later, Boosie goes online and comments about Caleb Williams, the Chicago Bears quarterback, having his fingernails painted. He got massive backlash for that. But Boosie stood firm. He said what he said and didn't back down. Then, somebody asked about his upcoming event and whether trans people would be allowed. Boosie said no and made it very clear how he felt about that. That created another wave of controversy online. So in the span of about 10 days, Boosie had a warrant story, a legal situation involving federal probation, a controversy about an NFL player's nails, a trans controversy at his party, and the Wild 'N Out cancellation. That is a lot for one man in 1 week. But notice something. Through all of it, Boosie never folded. He stood on every single position. Like him or not, you can't call that man a pushover. Now let me say something about Charleston White that I think needs to be said, because a lot of people keep giving this man a platform and calling it real talk for the community. The playbook is simple. Pick a trending topic, say something so outrageous that people can't ignore it, get millions of views, get on bigger and bigger platforms, then go to interviews and act like you're a sophisticated thinker with data and solutions. That's the grift. And the dangerous part, some people know it's a grift and still cheer it on. They say, he's just speaking facts. He told you what he's doing. Okay, but if he told you he's running a game, why are you still treating it like community leadership? Because here's what bothers me most. When you go on massive platforms and tell the world that black people are lazy, that we're the most hateful people, that we're sorry, you are doing damage, real damage to real people. Black people in America have worked in this country for 500+ years. We built this economy. We fought in every single war this country has ever had. We spend our dollars with everybody, inside and outside our community. And the idea of taking a small percentage of people dealing with very real systemic conditions and presenting that as who we all are, that's not truth-telling. That's the same framing the oppressors use. So when I see somebody doing that on a massive scale, calling it real talk, while also chasing rap clout, showing up to rappers' events for attention, trying to look like and be around the same people he claims to be above, I call that what it is. You don't hate rappers, you want to be one. You always have. Look, at the end of the day, Boosie made the right move. Full stop. Wild 'N Out, if this went down exactly how it sounds, y'all have to do better. You cannot book two people with that level of documented, public, and ongoing conflict and act like it's just gonna be vibes on stage. That's not edgy booking, that's reckless booking. Boosie said, I'm sending the money back, and that told you everything you needed to know about where his head is at. He's not chasing every bag. He's not going to let a check compromise his integrity or put him in a bad situation, legally, personally, or professionally, especially not right now with everything else he's already navigating. Some people are going to say he's letting money walk. I say he's protecting his energy and his brand at a time when he literally cannot afford any more controversy. And as for Charleston White, the internet is going to keep watching because rage baiting works in the algorithm. But just because something gets views doesn't mean it's valuable. Don't confuse engagement with impact. Let me know in the comments, did Boosie make the right call sending that money back? And do you think Wild 'N Out knew what they were doing when they made that booking? Drop it below. If you're new here, subscribe. We break down what's really happening in culture, not just what's trending. Hit the notification bell. We got the update dropping today as well. So lock in, stay on your pivot. I'll see you in the next one.